What's going on, guys? JFC here. We've got FUT birthday icon leaks right now, and it's looking pretty insane. We got player of the month Mbappe today, which we will get into in this video as well. We'll talk about the market crash some more also. I have the icon pack in this video to open if you want to stick around for that. The 89 plus Primer World Cup icon. We'll be opening that at the end. But yeah, some interesting stuff in terms of content, and also what we got is the patch that we'll go and talk about. If you guys have not seen the patch notes yet, we'll go and look at those soon also. Let's just begin with probably the worst SBC ever, if we're being honest here. I'm trying not to be like, you know, say the worst SBC ever every like 2 weeks, right? I'm not trying to like overdo it, but this genuinely 3 90 rated squads, one with a team of the week player, by the way, 4 89 rated squads. Sorry, 5. How could I forget? There's 5 89 rated squads, 1 88, 2 88, 3 88s, 87 and 86. I mean, that is actually, it's insane. This is an IQ test. This is genuinely EA just saying, we didn't want to have this Mbappe come out because they didn't really have a choice, right? He won Liga and Player of the Month. They didn't really have a choice but to release him. This was just them saying, yeah, if you're going to want to do this card, we're going to make him double the price that he should be. And that's what he is. He's literally double the price. He's more than double the price of the earlier Player of the Month card. And this card, I believe, has like +1 on shooting, and it has the same pace. +1 on dribbling, I think also. I mean, it's an IQ test. All right, please. Not that anybody can even do this SBC, to be honest with you. But just please don't do it, okay? Please don't do it. And so they've got the FUT Champions bonus objective, which is a very nice addition. You know, you get this 87 Furpo if you just win 20 matches in the FUT Champions finals over the course of 2 weeks or 2 weekends. So that's really nice there. I've already gotten the FUT Champions like qualifier ones. But yeah, just giving us fodder right now is very nice because we need it, considering there's all these SBCs out and most of us probably don't have enough right now. Jack Grealish came out today though, and the card unfortunately is 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, which really kind of is a pretty big downside to this card. It actually looks pretty good. The dribbling's nice. Grealish has like a unique body type in game. He's got nice animations. This card had potential, but I don't think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be decent for you. Finesse shot trait also, obviously the flare passes trait also. It's probably pretty good in game, but I think that 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot in the top end elos of weekend league and in elite division is going to be the most meta card ever. No, but you don't have to have every card be meta, but it does kind of suck that they could make him 4-4. You know, why not? Just 3-star weak foot in this game is just unfortunately not very good. And Madueke is coming today, by the way, and that card doesn't look great. They might give him 5-star skills, maybe. That's what they're thinking there. That's why they kind of nerfed his stats, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. It doesn't look great. And also, you had to go into 10 separate games with this Grealish, which obviously sucks a little bit, but I honestly still think it's okay. You're probably going to have to play 10 games max to get all of this fodder here. There's like 3 or 4 cards here that are very usable. You're gonna get an 80 plus ×5, a FUT birthday pack, and another 89 mount at the end. That's a lot of stuff to get. I'm okay with playing 10 games. I thought to get all of it, you had to play probably 30 games. So in that case, it is still a W, but also it does kind of suck. You gotta play 10 games. So let's begin with some leaks. FUT birthday swaps. You don't really have the swap rewards yet, but here are 3 of them, and I'm assuming these are gonna be the lower end ones, but 84 ×3, 85 5, and 84 7. I can't say that's the greatest swap packs ever. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully those are just like the lower swap token ones, but that's not very good if we're being honest with ourselves here. There was a token of First Owner Fiesta, by the way. If you guys missed that, you can go look at that in objectives. I think it's just win 1 if I'm not mistaken. But here we go, Eric Cantona. By the way, FUT scoreboard getting into the leaks here. He's beating Sheriff to all of them. Eric Cantona is gonna be a FUT birthday icon. This is kind of the year where Cantona, at least on the next gen version, is like really good because of his height, his strength, and the fact that he does have 5 skills. Cantona definitely is good this year, so that card's gonna be too expensive anyway for most people, but we'll get a lone FUT birthday Cantona pack in case anybody sees that. Don't be surprised by that. And this here, the loading screen made it pretty obvious that George Best is gonna be coming also with 5-star skills, which is insane. George Best is very good in this game. And then this pretty much has to be João Felix, right, with 5-star weak foot, center forward from Chelsea. So it looks like we're gonna get some really good cards in this FUT birthday promo, and we've seen the panic on the market ensuing because of that, but it did rebound a little bit today. Once again, we'll look at that here in a sec. Jorginho is the Brazilian icon that we saw yesterday being leaked, and once again, you know, with the FUT birthday, he might be 5-5. I don't know if they'll upgrade the skill moves and weak foot with the icons, but if they did, holy shit, a 5-5 Jorginho, that's going to be 14 million coins. It's actually going to be insane. Okay, we actually have maintenance coming, which I actually forgot about. 3 a.m. UTC to 10 a.m. So if you're seeing this video during this time, there is maintenance going on. Because of this maintenance, I'm going to open this icon pack now. It's in 5 minutes, so I'm going to roulette this right now. I'm going to take a break in the middle of this video, video. I apologize to interrupt the flow of it. Guys, I'm not looking right now. It's a duplicate. Oh my god, it's a duplicate, bro. I'm like scared to look. If this is like a prime hullet or something, I'm actually scared to look at this duplicate. Okay, 3, 2, 1, look. Oh, man. I literally have to put him into an SBC now. Dude, George Best is so good in this game, and I've got him twice. But okay, moving swiftly on from that disappointment. We have a new title update coming out for all the stuff. It's all for PC right now, coming out for all the consoles here soon. They added the UEFA Women's Champions League to kick off in tournaments. So I guess if you want to play the Women's Champions Leagues, there's a couple other women's soccer leagues and clubs as well. Real Madrid, Wolfsburg, Juventus, and Eintracht Frankfurt. And they added 10 new signature celebrations, which I thought is interesting. Like, they never add celebrations during the year that are not like ones you have to pay for. But to get into the actual like interesting parts of this update, there are actually a couple gameplay changes that could be significant. We've got players with the explosive accelerate archetype now accelerate slightly faster during the early stages of a requested sprint, which, by the way, this also kind of confirms that explosive accelerate players have not been working properly this entire time still. They got that buff last time, but clearly they did not make it so that it was as good as intended, right? So we still have not seen full potential on like the Messis, the Pelés, the George Bests of the world, Butragueños, those guys. We've not even seen their full potential yet. So this is going to be interesting to see. I think it's actually pretty balanced right now. I do think explosive might be the worst of the three, though. I think controlled is really good and lengthy is still good. So maybe it does need to be changed. You know, let me know what you guys think. But intercepting the ball while jockeying, the player is now better able to take control of the ball instead of it bouncing away from the player. That's been one that's been needed for a little while. That's actually one of the few like glaring flaws of the game. There's a lot of like flaws of the game, but none that are like game breaking. Recently, the interceptions have been pretty bad, so that's a good change there. Increased accuracy of driven ground passes made the teammates ahead of the ball carrier in situations where the passer is under no pressure from defenders. So that means you're going to have better driven passes when there's no pressure at all around you, which is also a good thing. Driven passes are really good in this game, but they're just not very accurate. And like the better, like my prime Ruud Gullit can do driven passes like kind of what they should be, and my like other midfielders can't really because he's just such an insane icon. And I feel like those driven ground passes that like Gullit has, every player should have. So I think hopefully it'll look more like that. Improved contextual logic when determining if a standing tackle request should lead to a defending player performing a standing tackle or push/pull. This change will result in more standing tackles being performed than pushes or pulls in some situations. So if you guys don't know what the difference is there, they're talking like, you know, when you press circle and you're like, say you're sprinting right next to somebody who's also sprinting, they'll kind of have that like, you know, a drop of the shoulder kind of animation and kind of like bump into them with their body. They're going to have more tackles in certain situations there instead of doing that. So we'll have to see how that plays out, I guess. Slightly increase the likelihood of a knuckleball shot occurring when requesting a power shot. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory there. Decrease the speed the ball can travel at from a free kick taken with the outside of the foot. Yeah, outside the foot shot free kicks have always been like insane power, like pretty unrealistic. So that's kind of been a needed change for a little while. Slightly decrease the range required for defender to attempt to tackle without being requested to do so. So that's also kind of nerfing, just like if you're just jockeying and you're trying to tackle the guy without pressing the circle button or the tackle button, they're kind of nerfing that a little bit. So you kind of, they're trying to get you to press the circle button. That's kind of their goal, to make it a risk reward kind of thing. And it probably is a pretty good thing for FIFA. So I think that's a good change. And increased consistency of flicking the ball if the ball was in the air. So that's, I don't know, is that gonna mean like, so you can, so you can say you get like a square pass, like a switch of the play or like an L1 triangle, you can flick the ball on the first touch. Is that what they're saying? I'm not exactly sure there. And here we go with the more vague stuff here. In some cases, a player could take longer than intended to start sprinting with the ball when a sprint was requested. It's like, was this happening to every single time? Was this happening random times? It says some cases. Was this half the time you press sprint, they didn't end up sprinting as much as they should have? I mean, this accelerate stuff is going to take the entire year for them to fix. Like, they clearly, it was broken at the start of the year in terms of lengthy players were outrageously good. Now it feels a little more balanced, but explosive players could maybe use a little bit of a buff. And now it's like, we don't even know what's happening. Like, players aren't sprinting when it's requested. How often? I don't know. But it's like, that's a pretty big deal. Goalkeepers could sometimes anticipate shots too quickly, most notable one-on-one situations. So I'm hoping this means when you hold the triangle button and you bring the goalkeeper out close to you, they're not going to save every single shot that is shot at you. That's what I'm hoping that means, because goalkeepers weren't very good in one-on-ones anyway, which is a good thing, by the way. It's not a bad thing. But yeah, I'm assuming that I'm hoping that's what that means. I don't know. Improve referee logic when determining potential penalty kick fouls near the edge of the box. Okay, pretty self-explanatory there. Then the last two are not very interesting there, but yeah, that's pretty much the whole title update. There are some interesting things definitely in that update that, of course, is very vague, and I don't know, man. Didn't we have that whole like debacle about a couple patches ago when Dunans and Dragons came out and was like, we'll be more, you know, open in the future about what exactly is getting fixed. It's like, that didn't happen, I guess, unless they're gonna drop something more later. I don't know. But looking at the market now, Mbappe is 4.2 million. All right. I mean, that is unbelievable. When was the last time there was an SBC that was this much? I don't even think when they release, you know, the R9s and Ronaldinho's later in the year that they're ever 4+ mil. Are they ever? I mean, that is one of the most expensive SBCs of all time. I think it's the most downvoted player of all time now, 14,000 downvotes. That I'm not sure if that overtook the most all time. It's definitely up there though. Looking at the rest of the market, it's rebounding a tiny bit, but the panic is still definitely here. Like Janola's 1.145 of 40k from his lowest, but he's down 300k in 2 days. So not really much of a saving grace there if you still had Ginola or anything like that. Mbappe went up quite a bit, honestly, because he was so expensive. People always panic sell the gold beforehand, thinking that the player of the month is only going to be a 1.5 mil, 2 mil, and they'll be able to grind towards it, but that was not the case. So some people bought the gold Mbappe back and the purple Mbappe also. Yeah, we're seeing some rebounding here, and I think that's kind of what it was expected. Like, the panic was really bad yesterday. It doesn't usually stay that low for that long, but I am still pretty suspicious. I wouldn't, like, say, oh my god, buy your cards now. The FUT birthday team is probably going to be pretty sick. We got the 5-star João Felix as of right now. Yeah, the icons of Best and Canton and Jairzinho. It's looking pretty promising, which in that case, I'm not too optimistic about what the outcome of this market's going to look like. And high-rated fodder, if you bought some for Mbappe, it ended up actually going down like 1,000 or 2 because he was literally so expensive that people who even bought fodder to try and complete him were like, I'm not doing it. I'm not completing him. So if you invested in fodder, you probably lost 1,000 coins or 2 on each card, almost no matter the rating, because they made him so expensive that there's nobody doing it. Like, literally nobody. If they made him 3 million coins, fodder would have stayed the same, but they made him 4 million coins. Who on earth is going to do that? So, yeah, it wasn't good for investing, which I kind of knew it wasn't going to be, but if you wanted to buy him beforehand, I was like, okay, it's not going to go down. It did go down a couple thousand because he was that expensive. That just sucks, and we got EA'd, all right? We just got EA'd. There's nothing that we can even say about it. I'm saving a bunch of packs for FUT birthday, by the way. I'll have like 2 or 3 82 times 20s to open for FUT birthday. A lot of stuff to rip open for that video coming out on the day FUT birthday comes out. I might stream it. I'm not too sure. If I have a ton of packs, I'm talking like 100, I'll stream it. But if I have like 30, I'll probably open it for a video. But yeah, guys, just do Johan Cruyff. If you bought fodder or you saved up some to try and do Mbappe and you're like thinking to yourself, well, I'm not doing him anymore, do Johan Cruyff, all right? Cruyff is going to be, for one, just more fun to use. You'd way rather have the legacy of Cruyff in your team than like the rad Mbappe. And he's literally less than half the price, and he's 5'5", and he's going to be great for you. Johan Cruyff's great in this game. But all right, I think that's going to be it. I love you all. See you next video very, very soon. Peace.